Hello and welcome to Jeopardy at Home. I'm your host, Alec Winchell, back for another week, and we thank you for joining us. Now, as many of you know, after every Jeopardy at Home game concludes, typically I receive somewhere between $200 and $600 via Cash App and Venmo. I appreciate that donation from our fans, and it has successfully funded a number of disreputable and a-religious habits that I've incorporated into my lifestyle the past few weeks. However, I would ask that perhaps instead of sending money directly to me this week, you might consider instead donating to local bail relief. That's money that would directly go to free incarcerated protesters so that they may return to the streets and fight the good fight. Included in the description of this video is a list of national local bail reliefs. Feel free to check that out. Now, folks, you know that we have an exciting game for you today, and there's absolutely no time to waste. Let's say hello to the first competitor who will be challenging our current champion. We say hello and welcome Sarah. Sarah, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Our next competitor, a fierce man from down under who's willing to take on the man who's got 2 wins under his belt. We say hello to Strauss. Strauss, how are you?
I'm good. It's great to be here, Alec.
And of course, the man, the myth, the legend. 2 successful wins, 8,100 points in his pocket. We welcome back to the show, Javi. Javi, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a pleasure to be back.
Very exciting to have all 3 of you here today. 3 people who are looking to come home with the gold. And per usual, we like to get to know our contestants a little bit before we throw them into the mixer. Sarah, I know that you recently graduated from a business school. Can you tell us how the ruthless corporate world has prepared you for today's fistfight?
Just intimidation. That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Strauss, on the other hand, you're notoriously meek, and I can see in your face that you're scared. What is it about today's competitors that instills such fear in your heart?
You know, Javi's performance has just been very impressive, but I'm here to compete and I'm ready.
Interesting. Perhaps a vote of confidence for yourself. Javi, we come to you. We know you well at this point, but I want to ask you an unusual question. You've dominated almost every category with maybe a slight preference towards geography and literature. Tell me, what category makes you shake in your boots?
That's a good question. I'm pretty scared of trying to stay away from pop culture. Okay, you're right that geography and literature are where I'm in my sort of wheelhouse, so I'm trying to stay in that direction.
All right, well, we'll see where the board takes us today. Let's take a look at what we've got. 5 categories, a single board. We have testing, 1, 2, 3. We have the U.S. police, protest, and songs. In the songs category, I will give you a song and the year it was released, and you will tell me simply who the artist or band is. To all the tech aficionados at home, just letting you know that we have incorporated advanced AI technology into our system today. We'll be using a buzzer. No more hand raising. We're going to see if we can get this all electronic. So with that, no one is touching their face. No one is squinting. But Sarah, it's been the longest since you moved your head, which means you have control of the board first.
Let's do songs for 600.
Okay. September 1978. And the first person to buzz in is Sarah.
Who is Earth, Wind, and Fire?
That is correct.
Who are Earth, Wind, and Fire?
Board goes back to you.
Let's do songs for 800.
The Box 2019. Sarah, in again.
Who is Roddy Ricch?
That is correct. A hot start for Sarah. Board is back to you.
Let's do songs for 1,000.
Good in Bed from 2020 this year. No one buzzing in yet. Pensive faces. Sarah.
I'm going to guess who is Future?
That is incorrect. Back down to 0. Do we have anyone else buzzing in? It looks like we do not. Dua Lipa, the songbird of our generation with Good in Bed. It's a very horny song. Sarah, back to you.
Songs for 400.
God's Plan 2018. That's Strauss first.
Who is Drake?
That is correct. Board is to you.
Let's do 1, 2, 3 for 400.
All right, starting on a fresh category, mix these three primary colors to create nearly any hue your heart desires. And that's Javi with his first buzz in.
What are red, yellow, and blue?
That is correct. We remember elementary school. Javi, back to you.
Let's do 1, 2, 3 for 600.
A scoop of Neapolitan ice cream will give you a taste of these three flavors. Sarah?
Strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate.
That is
What is-
correct. A
Sorry.
disgusting amalgamation. You get a pass on that one, but yes, make sure to phrase it in the form of a question. Back to you.
Let's do 1, 2, 3 for 800.
In Grimm's The Three Little Pigs, these are the three materials used to build the pigs' houses. That's Javi first.
What are straw, wood, and brick?
That is correct. This man absolutely went to elementary school. Don't tell him otherwise. Javi, you.
Let's finish the category.
Sigmund Freud identified these three parts of the personality that work together to influence behavior, and that is Sarah buzzing in first.
What is the superego, the ego, and the self?
Ooh, that is incorrect. That is Javi who buzzed in second.
What are the ego, the superego, and the id?
Oh,
That is correct. Very close from Sarah. This is a tight game already with two categories down. Javi, you take us to our third category.
Let's do testing for 400.
This standardized test was introduced in 1959 as an alternative to the SAT. Javi, you're first.
What is the ACT?
That is correct. I think it's easier. Javi, to you.
Testing 600.
A passing grade on this group of tests certifies high school level academic skills. That's David first.
What is the GRE?
That is incorrect, and also not a picture of you on the screen. That is Sarah who buzzed in second.
I was going to say the honors tests.
That is also incorrect. Javi has not buzzed in, which means that we have no answer for the first time in this board. It is the GED, not the GRE. Very close guess from David.
Testing 800.
This test preparation company is named for its founder, born in NYC to Jewish immigrants. We're shying off from the buzzer. Nobody buzzed in yet. Thinking, what could it be? And we do not have an answer. We're looking for Kaplan. Kaplan is the name of the testing company. And Javi, we return to you.
Let's finish it off.
So we shall. GMAT, a test popular when applying to business schools, stands for this. We're still remaining shy. Nobody buzzing in. Jonah upset in the comments, and nobody comes in. We're looking for graduate management admissions test. I think it's poorly named, but it doesn't matter what I think. Javi, we go back to you.
Let's do U.S. Police for 400.
U.S. Police for 400. Early forms of policing began in the Carolinas in 1704 when patrols were created with the purpose of apprehending and disciplining these peoples. David buzzed in.
What are slaves?
That is correct. David, your category.
Same thing for 600, please.
The first formal American police force was created in this city in 1838 to combat unrest from the urban working class. That's Sarah.
What is Philadelphia?
That is incorrect. Our two gentlemen waiting to buzz in, and they do not ring in. We're looking for Boston. During urbanization and industrialization, there were riots from the underpaid working class, and the first formal police force was created to handle that. We are back to the selection.
800.
Before being portrayed by Al Pacino in an eponymous film, he was a whistleblower in the NYPD during the 60s. Sarah comes in.
Wait, I didn't mean to hit it. I'm sorry.
You didn't mean to. The buzzer is reset. forgiveness policy here on Jeopardy at Home, but no one bugs in. We are looking for Frank Serpico from the movie Serpico. David, back to you.
Finish off the category, Alec.
This Department of Defense program has directed $5.1 billion of military equipment to local police forces. We have no guesses there. We're looking for the 1033 program, started in the 90s and already in excess of $5 billion of military-grade equipment directed to the police. We have one category left. Taking a look at how we're doing so far, after a hot start, especially from Sarah, she's dropped to negative 1,200. Strauss middling with 200. Javi in the lead with 2,600. One category to go. It'll be Strauss's choice, I believe, and we'll see who pulls ahead.
Let's start at 400.
Protests are currently erupting around the nation in direct response to the murder of this man. That is Javi first.
Who is George Floyd?
That is correct. Javi, your thought.
Let's do 1,000.
To try and finish off the crowd. This series of anti-government protests, known as the Arab Spring, first began in this country. Someone's got to take a swing if they want that gold. But will anybody do it? Sarah comes in.
What is Iran?
That is incorrect. Does David venture a guess?
What is Saudi Arabia?
He does, apparently, but that is also incorrect. We're looking for Tunisia. Tunisia was the first country with an anti-government revolt. We have 2 clues left on the board.
Let's do 800.
The French protests demanding economic justice that began in 2018 are known collectively as this. That is Javi first.
What are the yellow jackets?
That is correct. Yellow jacket or yellow vest protests. And our final clue, we finish off the board with the historic riots that sparked the gay rights movement began in 1969 at this Greenwich bar. That is Sarah first.
What is Stonewall?
That is correct. You can accept either of those answers, but unfortunately, a pattern that is all too familiar. We end with 2 negative scores, and Javi, the only person in the positive, with 3,800. Difficult board here with some acronyms, some more obscure and disturbing police facts. But Javi again emerges on top. But we have a final Jeopardy yet to go. The category is home appliances. Sarah, you have negative 1,600 points to play around with. David, you have negative 800 points to play around with. And Javi, you have 3,800 points to bet. Go ahead and write down your wagers based on this category. Again, we'll remind people who joined us late that in lieu of financing my own questionable habits through Venmo donations, there is a link to your local bail relief in the description of this video. We encourage you to donate if you're able to. Make sure you've written down those wagers before we go ahead and look at the clue. You'll have 30 seconds to think about what the answer might just be. Home appliances, the clue is this. The popularity of this company's vacuum cleaner resulted in its name becoming a verb in the Oxford English Dictionary. And that is time. Answers are in. We look to the comments section where someone has correctly identified the fact that girls make me tired. That's correct. Tired and scared, which means that Sarah, we go to you. I'm shaking in my boots. What was your wager? Negative 1,600 points to play around with.
I was going to risk it all.
Okay. Go ahead and write that down and show it to me. I know I prompted you in a confusing way,
Well,
but you risked it all.
okay.
Go ahead and show me what you wrote down for your answer.
Oh, I didn't write anything down, but I thought of it.
Okay, go ahead and say it out loud.
It's so stupid. I don't know. This is the only vacuum brand I can think of. I don't know why. Dyson.
Dyson is incorrect, but a good guess. That does unfortunately throw you down to the depths of hell with a negative 3,200 points. We go now to David, who had negative 800 points. David, can you show us what your wager was?
Yeah, I bet the house, and my guess was Swiffer.
Swiffer. So negative 800, which tumbles you down to the depths of hell. Negative 1,600. Unfortunately, Swiffer is not the correct answer. Javi, we come now to you. 3,800 points to play around with and nothing to lose. What did you wager?
I did 500.
500. And your answer was Hoover. Hoover is the correct answer. One of the original vacuums, now officially a verb in the Oxford English Dictionary. Kind of a creepy word. That means that Javi wins. He ends with 4,300 points this game. His previous score of 8,100 puts him at 8,400. 12,400 points. That is a new all-time record for Jeopardy at Home in both points and wins. Congratulations to Javi.
Thank you, guys.
Congrats, Javi. Proud of you. Rooting for you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Me too.
I want to talk about this game because it was not what we were expecting. Sarah, I'll come to you first because you were hot out of the gate in the music category before things slowed down. How did the wheels come off?
So I forgot that when you guess incorrectly that it removes points. I thought it was, only when you guessed correctly that you got points. So, that's where it went. That's where it went south.
Important consideration.
Yep.
That is also something that other people who have scored in the negative have said. We are planning a tournament of, we won't call it losers because that would be mean, but it will be people who have exclusively scored in the negative. We'll hope to have you back to redeem yourself.
Thanks.
Strauss, you'll be joining her. You also had negative points, but you never got off to a hot start. What happened?
For me, besides messing up the GRE question, I think it was just about being slow on the buzzer. I knew a lot of the answers, but my competitors were just faster than me.
Interesting point. The new technology creates some road bumps. And Javi, in the history book, surpassing our previous champion, Simone, 3 wins, 12,400 points. How do you feel, big man?
I feel great. It's an amazing feeling, and it's an honor to be able to come back on this show and answer some questions.
A historic day. We will see you on Friday. In the meantime, feel free to check out Jeopardy at Home on Instagram for highlights and special video clues this week from singer Jenny Thomas. Thank you to all the competitors today. It was a wonderful round. Thanks to everybody who watched.